Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to do an oil change on your 1996 to 2001 Daihatsu Midget II. Let's get into it. Alright, first off, for tools, you're going to always want a drain pan, so you're not emptying it onto the ground. You're going to want your oil filter and your oil. I tend to usually go with 10W30, and for this, K&N 1003, but also an M103 would work, and any oil filters that interchange with those two part numbers. You also might want an extension depending on, who you are. I like having extensions just because it helps me get to reach places that I don't need to go to usually. You're going to want a 14 millimeter and a, let's see, come on, should be 12 millimeter, but too bad you can't read. Come on, 12 millimeter and a ratchet of any sort, really. I just got a bendy one to, again, help me with going into spaces I don't usually need, as well as one of these. This is something that you don't need, but I like to use. Helps get the oil out without having to dump it all into the pan directly. All right, to get started, you're going to want to go into your Daihatsu Midget. I like to open up both doors so I can have easy access to each side. You're going to want to lift up this little flap over here, try to make sure you get all of the Velcro off. You're going to take this little wing nut, you're going to loosen it, take it off. Make sure you just drop it on the floor because, that's where it should go. Flip up this little flap so you don't hit the steering wheel. Push the seat forward. Should look like that. Pull the seat up. And then, of course, make sure that this little string is actually in front of everything. So you can use it to prod up the seat with this little hook right here. And the seat should be out of your way. Next, we're going to remove this cover. It covers most of the vehicle on the floor, leading to the actual main floor. It's got a lot of these clips and pieces of Velcro that all kind of just come undone. And if you'll lift it, move it out of the way. Just sit it in the bed because, pretty simple place to move it. Unless you happen to have one of the vans, then it's not sure where you put it, but somewhere. Next, you're going to want to take that 12 millimeter, so 12 millimeter socket, ratchet, and remove these 3 bolts. Alright, once those are out of the way, see that the oil fill cap is right there. It's a bit of a difficult thing to get to, but if you just have a funnel, you should be able to get in there. Just set this over here so you don't lose it. I like to set the screws right here since they're just kind of out of the way. And with this, you also just might as well open this and take a look at every single belt that you have inside there. And I like to just do it so I can have extra eyes on everything else. But this is an option. Usually you don't need to though. But since I am using the siphon, you will want to use it or open this up. Since this right here is the oil dipstick. Alright. Let's get the cracking. Alright, and this is for if you happen to use a drain pan. You're going to want to open up the oil fill cap. Just set it somewhere where it doesn't get all its oil everywhere. I just sit on the floor next to it. Go over here. You're going to want to take your ratchet, 14 mil. Find your drain plug. You're going to get it on there. And just going to loosen it. This is also, I like to do this afterwards. Oh, that was very, very loose. I like to do this afterwards when I empty all the oil with the siphon, because then you can check if there's any metal fragments, which hopefully there will never be. I wonder why it's red. Previous owner has red oil. But yeah, you just take the oil plug, take it out, and let it drain through this. If you're feeling extra brave, you can always move your drain pan to where it's draining almost at the edge. You can take your old oil filter and hopefully take it off. If you happen not to be able to get the oil filter off with your hand, you can always use a pair of filter wrenches. Don't worry about the filter itself. It's not going back on the car, so it's not an issue. Since it is not going back on the car, you're going to want to make sure to get the oil absolutely everywhere. But yeah, you should be able to take it off with your hands, hopefully, with a bit of effort, or filter wrenches, since, filter pliers, I'm sorry. Wait for all of it to drain out from there, and you should be good for the next step. For me, what I do, and if you happen to have one of these as well, you just take this assembly, move it close to the side of the car. I like to move it pretty much into the door. Get the whole tube out, pull it out of the thing, even though that's just how I store it. And set it in there. Of course, it doesn't want to actually click in because I only have one hand. So here we go. Of course. There, clicks in. Then pull the oil dipstick out. That's the oil dipstick. You see the red. Pull it out. See your oil on the dipstick. Clean it off. I like to take another check just in case. So stick it back in. Pull it back out. And looks good enough. But we're going to do an oil change anyways, since this is a new vehicle to me. What you're going to want to do is when you have one of these, take this and just stick it down in the oil dipstick tube. However far it goes. Give it a bit of force. It's not going to hurt anything since it's plastic versus metal. Or rubber, or whatever you want. What this is made of. Stick it all the way in. Should be good to go. Then just start pumping. I want to make sure this is like that, so you can actually get vacuum to pull the oil out. And it just goes up and in. Once you get a vacuum, I start to pull through up to the top. Go through. Eventually, it just starts siphoning itself in there. and just wait for it to come out and through. Either that, or wait for it to empty through your drain pan. Once your engine is about empty to your desired amount, this really isn't, but hey, just want to get this done. Not too much old oil will stay in anyways. You're going to want to take your drain plug with drain plug gasket. You're going to stick it back on there. Just hand tighten it so it goes in. I like to try to clean it up as best as I can. Put it in. I like to take it and crank it. Not too hard, but just enough to where it'd be able to stay in. Once you're done with that, you're going to take your new oil filter, take it out of the box, throw that stupid sticker away because no pens stick to it. You're going to take your filter. You are going to, what I like to do is I just take my new bottle, or used bottle, depends on how much you have from last time. Give it a good punch. I take my thumb, get a little bit on my finger. I just like to stick it on the outside. I know some people pre-oil their filters. I think I've done it once or twice, but I see no benefit just because of the fact that it kind of just wants to get everywhere, and it's gonna fill up anyways. So just get a little bit on the outside. Helps it go on, helps it stay. You're gonna stick it on there. And just start tightening. Obviously, it's gonna be a bit easier when you have two hands. But we're good to go. I like to get a little rag to wipe my hands off so I can try to be as not slippery as possible, depending on gloves. If you have gloves or not, you'll have a bit more grip or not. For me, I have gloves on, so I'm going to take it. I'm going to just try to grip it as best as I can. Give it a nice hand tighten. That's all you really need. The gasket should be able to hold everything in there, regardless of, what you do. Once you get done with putting in the oil filter, next you're just going to take your funnel. I pretty much just found the longest one I could find. I'm going to stick it in there and just start pouring in your oil. For me, I'm going to just check to see how much oil's in the engine to figure out how much I need. I've read 2.5, I've read 3.3. There's a lot of different numbers online, so I'm just going to figure it out myself. I'll let you know when I'm done. All right. Once you're done filling up, you're going to want to see how much it takes. So, how much you're going to want to see how much it takes before you're done filling up or before you start filling up. So, from what I see, let's clean off the dipstick. Put it back in. Pull it out. And it's just above full. So, here, let's see. Just a little bit above full. Might want to do a little bit less, but it seems like it's about 2.5 quarts, the same amount that it takes for a usual high jet like that. Is the dual overhead cam exhaust high custom whatever, but yeah, it's the dual overhead cam engine. But that one also takes 2.5, so half of a usual American bottle of 5 quarts. Seems like it's the same as this. All right, and once you're done with all that, hopefully nothing should be leaking. All right, you close up your fill cap, make sure your drain plug is in. And we're going to start putting back all of the goodies, like these. Put that back. I like to leave them a little loose. Not for, loose reasons, but because sometimes the wing nuts might hit back of your leg for whatever reason. So yeah, have it like that. Wing might not hit your leg. Here, just let it go. It's still nice and tight, and doesn't take too much force to, tighten it back up or loosen it back up. Again, you're going to want to take your 12 mil. There goes that. You're going to take your 12 mil. You're going to get the cover. And you're going to start putting the cover back on. Just give it a nice little tighten, not too tight. This isn't any load bearing or anything. No real need for torque specs. Just give it a little bit of a. It seems about tight enough. All right. You're gonna put your seat back down. Make sure to latch that. Hold that. So it's the steering wheel. Set that back down. Take your wing nut. Tighten it back up. If the wing nut wants to sit, it should. There we go. Tighten up the wing nut. I'm going to take your cover for all the stuff in here. I like to start with the shifter side. Take the shifter side, put it over here. Get your first clip right here. Make sure it clips in. Your little clip noise. And I just push this under there. Know what you're doing. Make sure this is all Velcro down. Make sure this is all Velcroed up. Start by putting the next one down. Next clip goes right here. Put that in. Probably should have did the seat first or second, but hey, I reap what I sow. And then you're gonna make sure that this over here, you got this little loop. You want the loop to be under the clip. So stick the loop on and then put your clip, and you're good. And then these ones over here, my door. You're going to have these. Pull this right over. And then stick the Velcro under. And hear all the Velcro going. And then making Velcro noises. And if you happen to have a, mat, carpet, or whatever we want to call it, just stick it under that. Alright. Should be all good to go. Give it a nice start. Let's see. Turn the keys. Right. Everything should be good. Alright. You should be good to go.